More than 8,000 life-size and lifelike warriors stand guard over China's first emperor, the man who made a nation and sought to preserve his power and glory forever. Emperor Qin's quest for immortality took him to the afterlife with his own underground empire. These treasures and the army watching over them are one of the 7 wonders of China. In 1974, Chinese farmers digging a well near the city of Xi'an in Shanxi province unearthed the first signs of one of the world's great finds. In 3 underground pits, 8,000 warrior statues stand in military formation. They are but a tiny portion of an imperial tomb complex yet to be revealed. The Terra Cotta warriors chronicle the birth of China and guard the treasures believed to be buried nearby. They are one of China's biggest tourist attractions, drawing crowds of over 10 million people a year to the city of Xi'an. Located in the eye of a dragon that's said to snake across the country, Xi'an is one of the 4 great ancient capitals of China. The people have lived alongside the first emperor's secrets for centuries. And here, at least, he has existed forever. Emperor Qin Shi Huang became China's first emperor in 221 BC, conquering all the neighboring states. He forged China's national identity, centralizing the government and standardizing measurement, currency, and language. His empire lasted until the beginning of the 20th century. He achieved great things, but he was also a notorious tyrant. He made history with the construction of the Great Wall, forcing hundreds of thousands of laborers to the harsh northern frontier to build a giant barrier against invaders. And when it came to building his own tomb, his methods were no less brutal.
The moment he ascended the throne, he started the preparation of his tomb. Even after his death, the construction of the tomb continued. It took 37 years. At one point, there were 710,000 people working on it.
Emperor Qin suffered from a compulsive fear of death. He sent his hapless officials on foreign missions to seek remedies for eternal youth. In the end, he died from an overdose of mercury pills, which ironically, he believed would let him live forever. In his lifelong quest for immortality, he built a city-sized replica of his palace grounds, creating lifelike models of everything he wanted to bring with him to the afterlife.
中国人呢，他相信灵魂不死，所以皇帝呢，他们
The Chinese believe in the immortality of the spirit and life after death. So emperors built their graves to resemble the palace they lived in when they were alive, except smaller in scale. But usually, the tomb was just a representation of the actual palace.
Traditionally, the Chinese believe there's continuity between life and death. People can take physical things with them for their comfort in the spirit world. But Emperor Qin went much further than that, beyond anything the country had ever seen, building a tomb that covered 35 square miles, over 500 times bigger than any other tomb excavated in China.
Apart from the mausoleum per se, he built surrounding walls, an inner wall and outer wall, complete with gates. He took his entire palace to the afterlife. The underground palace is a reflection of his palace above ground.
No empire would be complete without a massive army to defend it. So to serve his kingdom in the afterlife, Emperor Qin ordered the creation of 8,000 terracotta warrior statues to ensure that even after death, he'd continue to rule with an iron grip.
The Terra Cotta army is the eighth wonder of the world. What makes it a wonder? We can summarize it in 3 words: numerous, large, and realistic. By numerous, we mean there's a staggering number of 8,000 figures. By large, we mean each warrior and horse is life-sized. And by realistic, we mean that the figures are a realistic depiction of the actual Xi'an army. This is a vivid display of the Xi'an cavalry, of the soldiers and chariots. In art, when you reach a certain scale, it brings about a sense of wonder.
Averaging 6 feet in height and ranging from 220 to 660 pounds, each statue is lifelike and life-sized. No two are identical. Each warrior is a work of art bearing the signature of its creator.
We found 87 different names on the statues. The craftsmen who left their names behind were usually very experienced, and they would have had their own helpers and apprentices working with them on this. It was very rare to have such a huge number of people collaborating on a single artistic project in all of Chinese history.
More than 1,000 artisans were used to complete the emperor's vision.
Some sculptors have said, 1,000 people have 1,000 different faces. No 2 people look alike. Those who have seen these 8,000 terracotta warriors will notice that they all look unique. This is because the terracotta warriors were all modeled after real people. They weren't made by using a standard mold. If a mold were used, it would have given all the statues the same look. They were mainly shaped by hand.
Up close, each warrior's face has a history, a character, the spirit of the real soldier he was modeled after. It's easy to imagine them as the sons, fathers, and brothers who gave their lives to serve the king for eternity.